The Russian army suffered huge losses during the 7 weeks of the assault on Severodonetsk and Lysychansk. 44 battalion tactical groups initially had more than 30,000 servicemen. Now, according to military experts, only 30–50% of personnel remain there.
The Russians are so exhausted and have suffered such heavy losses that even Putin said that the troops that captured and occupied should be given the opportunity to rest.
By building up forces for an offensive in the Luhansk region, Russian troops have significantly weakened their positions in other regions. Thanks to this, the armed forces of Ukraine managed to achieve notable successes in the Zaporizhia, Kryvyi Rih and Kherson directions.
In the Kryvyi Rih direction, they have recently advanced up to 50 kilometers. And in the Kherson direction, over the past few weeks, they have been slowly but moving forward. In the military, this is known as the asymmetric action technique.
Then the Russian army will try to capture the Donetsk region. First of all, the enemy will develop an attack on Bakhmut and Siversk, as well as on Slovyansk and Kramatorsk, according to experts. But they believe that in these areas the invaders are unlikely to succeed after the losses they have suffered, because the Ukrainian military had time to prepare serious defense structures.
Even with the total advantage in terms of artillery means of influence, a full frontal attack will not help the Russians. We see how long the Russians have been trying to use this tactic against the Ukrainian defenders in the areas of Avdiivka, Marinka, Kurakhove, but nothing comes of us, because powerful defensive structures do not allow the Russians to break through.
In addition, the Siversky Donets River has a difficult terrain in the Donetsk region, which will create additional difficulties for the attackers. According to experts, it is now important for the Ukrainian military to successfully hold back the Russians for at least a month. Later, there will be more opportunities to equalize the potential.
We will now begin to receive very powerful weapons from the NATO countries. And then after that, Lend-Lease will also start working. That is, shall we say, the significance of this month.
But the danger lies in the fact that during this time the Russian invaders will try to increase the number of forces. Those willing to go to war are now being sought even in the colonies. According to the Important Stories online publication, employees of the Wagner private military company began to recruit prisoners in St. Petersburg through their foremen. For 6 months of service, they are promised 200,000 rubles and an amnesty. And in the event of death, the payment of 5 million rubles to the family. Active covert mobilization also continues.
Why did such massive shelling of regions bordering Ukraine begin now? We are talking about the Kursk, Bryansk, Rostov, Belgorod regions. They just want to announce mobilization there. Basically, this is quite a lot.
The big problem is that while trying to attack, Russian troops carry out massive shelling of settlements, almost completely destroying them and creating a humanitarian catastrophe. Bellingcat researchers recently published data on the damage to the critical water infrastructure of Donbas. And they talked about the destruction of the Popasnyansky water pipeline, which left about 1 million residents of the Luhansk region without water. The Russian military bombed it, claiming that they were destroying the barracks of Ukrainian soldiers near Bilohorivka.
We are talking not only about the Popasna water utility company, but also about absolutely autonomous water utilities in the cities of Rubizhne, Kremina, Severodonetsk, Lysichansk. They had underground wells from where they pumped water and centrally supplied it to people in multi-story and private residential buildings. There is also huge destruction. There is no access to them.
According to the regional military civil administration, the restoration of communal infrastructure in the Luhansk region will require at least 7 billion hryvnias and month of work. Reported by Marina Stepanenko, Natalia Voloshina, UATV News.